Welcome back to FFP Amigos. And today, Chelsea finally back to winning ways. The Wolves came to Stamford Bridge. They weren't hungry enough. And Chelsea manages to finally put an end to a horrendous form in a string of what's supposed to be easy games and finally put in a win. So let's go. The results for those of you, the long and the short. Chelsea, 3 goals. Chalobah, amazing game. We did well. We took the lead, and finally, we didn't collapse, and we were able to hold on. That's all you needed. Head on with your lives. Those of you who want to see a little bit more step by step what happened in the game, and sort of my thoughts are. Let's get right into it. So, first of all, the lineup came up, and so happy to see Chalobah from the get-go. And interesting enough, he played in the left center back role, so sort of wrong-footed for most of the match. Saw Towson with him, James. So that was kind of interesting, but always glad to see James. And I think I was a little annoyed to see Drewsbury Hall instead of Joao Felix. And actually, Joao Felix not playing or anyone instead of Palmer because I really wanted him to rest. I didn't want him to be risked, but I'm glad things were fine. And by the second minute of the game, I'm already excited, man. Reece James is taking corners and he's taking free kicks, and that elevates Chelsea to a different level where we're supposed to be finally somebody who takes them in nicely. And actually from one of those corners ends up like a long pass and creating a half chance for Madueke. So finally, and Chalobah had a great game. Immediately from there, he broke lines a couple of times. One of them, he found a pass to Neto. So he was playing as one of the more aggressive. He wasn't the one staying back. Towson was the one staying back, sort of doing the last line. And Chalobah was the one playing more aggressively, coming in for challenges all the way up into midfield, chasing his man and breaking up play. And he did really well, and offensively as well. At the very beginning, he broke lines, and he found a deep pass into Neto, leaving him alone wide. He didn't even see that coming. So incredibly to see his confidence and his aggression. So I loved it. On the 25th minute, Reece James grabs a rebound and takes a shot, which we need far more of. And the ball lands on Towson, and Chelsea's, able to break the deadlock. And 2 things there. Set pieces taken better, shots being taken from the outside, which is something that we saw effective in the last couple of games. And obviously the confidence that James has, and Towson put it in. Now that's another goal for Towson. Pretty interesting stuff. But Chelsea finally breaks the deadlock, which that's never the worry. I will tell you, I was getting a feel. I don't know you guys, but I was already getting a feel that even though we were, as in other games, start really well and we're offensive and look like we're going to strike and we're going to score a couple of goals, Chalobah is making me a little bit more comfortable how we are in the back. And finally, in the first half hour, we're spraying some long balls, which I like that I've been asking for that for a little bit. Because when they're in a low block, they don't expect to see that. And if you do it well, it forces errors in the keepers and the center backs and provides opportunity when it's really hard to break them down. And then we're also starting to see something in the game that I've been asking for, which is fine, you're going to play Palmer. And some people were like, oh, Palmer disappeared in this game. He wasn't there. No, that's just a misunderstanding. If you see what he did, and we saw this, 5-6 games ago, he dropped very deep today, very, very deep, all the way down, almost to play with the left back, to provide, just to break that first line of press in the middle. So he did a lot of running back to sort of get the play going, break the line, and then jump into the 10 position. So that's a lot of like an unsung hero of the game, but a lot of work that was done that way to allow Chelsea to break through and sort of disorganize their midfield, which is something I've been calling for, and I'm really happy to see. In any case, I'm feeling more confident, like I said, with Chalobah in the back. And I think we got this first half. Of course, the concern is always now what the hell's going to happen on the second half, right? So in any case, I'm thinking, as always, Chelsea need 3 goals to guarantee the win. And I think that was proven today. Maybe we can drop it to 2.75 with the fact of a little bit more confident I felt today. But in any case, 2 goals minimum, 2 to 3 goals for Chelsea not to drop points. And the 36th minute, we had an amazing scare, actually. Caicedo goes down, seems to be in a lot of pain. And I was thinking, how vulnerable are we if we lose that player, I think we're really in a world of hell, because especially now, Lavia's not around. We don't have any strong DMs. And today we'll see how we had to get creative towards the end to make that happen. But in any case, towards the end of the first half, again, Chelsea is playing defensively. Not very organized, as a matter of fact, for that. But, we start finding ourselves, in a complete defense mode. And then something horrible happens. I don't know what us Chelsea fans have to do. We should write a letter to Maresca to get Jorgensen, call back Petrovic. What do you want? What do you want? You can't give away chances like he does. And in a serious, professional elite level goalkeeper can't make the mistake that he made today for that goal. He comes out. He doesn't even come out for the cross. The cross is like 30 centimeters from where he's standing. He kind of does take a step out to goal and then has to come back to collect it, and he just can't collect it, and he drops it straight to Darty, I believe, and he scores, and he ties the game 1-1 at the very end of the first half, completely killing the mood and making us feel like we're going back to hell. Again, I'm not saying the greatest keepers in the world sometimes make a mistake, but they don't make them that often, and they don't offer chances to the opposition every single game. So I feel bad. I'm not the kind of pundit that wants to trash players, but it's hard to understand Maresca at this point, and I don't know. Please tell me in the comments why. Why? Can you guys tell me why? Because I do not know why. This man should not be in goal. And if somebody comes in, we should allow him an opportunity, even to make a couple of mistakes and stick around. So let's hope that happens. I don't know. In any case, the first 10 minutes of the second half, I realized again Palmer is dropping really deep, but the wings are a little bit ineffective. Like, we're managing to play out, we're managing to get there, and I'm a little traumatized from recently. I'm like, subs. Maresca, get some subs going, brother. And in the 59th minute, an amazing, Nani's been quite of ineffective, if you ask me, but he's never for lack of trying. And he does what he's done a couple of games, and the last time he gave an assist to Cucurella as well. He does that where he cuts back into the left foot and puts a nice little sweet cross in. And Cucurella again doing the run like he's like Michael Owen or something. And he gets us the goal. 2-1, finally provides the lead where strikers cannot do it and the other creative players cannot do it. We're calling on our inverted left back to do that. And with all the criticism he takes it, I just enjoy it. It's like, screw you, all of those that, they criticize, not him because he's an amazing left back, but criticize the fact that they see him further up in the box. And, if other offensive players are not converting, then yeah, let the left back get there and make it happen. And it's amazing the runs that he's making. That raises up a question. Why do we not see Neto at the end of those? We see Madueke, but he's a terrible header of the ball, and he reaches a couple of those, but certainly never see Neto or Sancho or, let's be honest, the big elephant in the room. Why is not Jackson at the end of crosses? Today, Chelsea threw in a lot of crosses in the game. I don't think it was at the end of a single one. And I don't understand that. I don't understand how that happens with movement. I don't think he had a good game today. I'm surprised he wasn't substituted earlier, to be honest. But in any case, after we get the lead, Sancho comes in for Neto, which was kind of obvious already in the 61st minute. And then as that's happening in the 64th minute, Madueke, technically a header. That's right after I said he doesn't score a header, but that was just literally, he stole it. Look. As an offensive player, you have to put, if you're not offside, you have to push in the ball. You never know who could be behind you on one side, on the other side, and may take the ball right off the line. But that's kind of sad because it was a Trevor goal. Trevor had an amazing game. That was going in. His header was absolutely going in, but Madueke just gives it a little push at the end and scores, which is, absolutely needed at that time. And we're at the 3-1, and now I'm comfortable. I'm still thinking that the opposition is going to score, actually. And another thing that's good that happens is we finally look dangerous again from crosses because Reece James putting in the ball. And if you get these, now I wasn't even celebrating when we get set pieces around the goal or corners very much, but now with James there, I'm like, ooh, mama. We got a chance here. Guy's so good. We love you, dude. We're so glad you're back. And Trevor, we're so glad you're back. I'm going to say that like 10 times today. In any case, the 75th minute, 73rd, 75th minute, Wolves make 3 changes and Chelsea makes subs. So obviously something's going to change in the game, and that's, a little worrisome with all that change. But Reece comes off, and I don't know if you saw this, but he hands the armband to Moisés Caicedo, gives him the love, the encouragement. I'd love to know what exactly he said to him, but he pumps him up a little bit. And we do something interesting. Dizazi comes to play right back. I know everybody hates that. And Gusto actually comes in to play left back. And Cucurella comes in to play the double pivot. So that was really interesting. Of course, we only played a few minutes like that. And, we were immediately under pressure. And Sanchez makes a couple of important saves from a couple of shots by Cunha. But, again, it wasn't something that, we needed Gigi Buffon level goalkeeping for. But fine, he did it. I'm still hating him anyway. No, I don't want to hate him. I'm sorry. I hate the fact that he gets played so much. And then the 84th minute, we sub off Palmer, which I think was very tired. Like, again, he was doing work that some people don't understand because you expect them to see him around the box, taking on 3-4 players, which he did. And he would try to find Madueke often to do a 1-2. But that wasn't enough space to do that. So he served a different purpose playing deeper today, and that was amazing, and that allowed. But I think the wings were weak, to be honest, because if he's doing that play, now he's breaking the line. Now we need to attack the wings and behind the defenders, and we didn't do that very successfully. But look, I'm not going to complain. The result was there. And then he gets subbed off for Felix, and Tyreek George comes on for Madueke. It looks like around that time, Chelsea decides to hold the ball. And I credit Caicedo a lot with this, and I think everybody on the field, but Caicedo definitely made a lot of decisions that seemed a little annoying at the time, but they were decisions to hold on to the lead. He played back if he had to a couple of times. He sprayed it wide. We got a 2-goal advantage. Why are we going to lose? Maybe that's what James told him. Hold on to this lead. Control the tempo. Don't slow the game down. Let these guys come off. Let's kill the clock and take the 3 points. Because the last thing that we needed is a tight game or to drop points prior to the Man City game coming up. That would have been terrible for morale, especially after seeing those bastards score 6 goals to an Ipswich we couldn't beat. In any case, we see out the game. It was pretty disorganized and sloppy at the end, but so were Wolves. So were we with all those kind of weird changes. And we're back. I'm really curious. Chelsea's back to winning ways. So the long and the short, amigos, Chelsea is back to winning ways. I don't think we're back to form. I don't think anything like that. But it's like the bare minimum that we needed to survive this. So now we can go to the Emptyhad and try to get a result. Are we going? Did I make that mistake? Let me double check here, man. I'm fairly certain that we're going to the Emptyhad the next game. Yeah, we are. So, and those dudes are on fire. So I really like that test, and I actually think that the Chelsea team's going to be up for it. And I'll do a video about the preview, but I'm very excited. Above all, very grateful to the team. It was a little bit of a sloppy one, a tough one, but you got the result, and that's what it's about. You went out there, you got the result, you did what you had to do. Again, worried for Jackson, really worried for Jackson. It might as well been Chewy Gu that played instead of him. Anyone for that matter, in Kunko, anybody could have played that game. I don't think he did anything very impressive today, either in bullying the defenders or runs in behind. Yes, they didn't find him on a couple that he did, but he didn't do well. But at the long and the short, as a team, we did well. Cucurella, amazing game. Tosin, great game. Chalobah, mamma mia, great game. Captain, oh my captain, thank you. Now we're a danger in set pieces. Moisés, as always, an amazing game. Palmer, I think he'll go unsung from the great work that he did. And Sancho, when he came in, I think he did a good job. Nani, hard work, but a little loose, if you ask me, with the finish in the last touch, as always. And I think that's about it. That sort of sums it up. Let's see if there's any interesting changes for the match coming up. Those bastards at Manchester City actually have to play PSG during the week. So I hope they get a horrible game, really tough. They get broken down, at least so they can soften and tenderize that beef so we can make some burgers at the Emptyhad. Some kebabs, what do you guys want? Some doner, some donkey meat. Make donkey meat of these fools over in the next match. So as always, Chelsea fans, and hopefully someday Chelsea players, you're watching me. Come on, you Blues.